Okay, you guys, welcome to Fun Time Party Zone. Today we just jump into STI and we start tearing it apart, see what went wrong. Because to be honest, I don't quite know what went wrong. Regardless if it's something minor or something major, I think it's the oil pickup, but regardless if it's something minor or something major, we're still doing a lot of revisions on this car to make it even better than it was before, because there are limitations and issues, not issues, but small things we ran into before that we can resolve and we can make better, which we're going to do. Now, for example, some of those things that we are going to resolve and make better. A, the engine harness. Now that I know how to make an engine harness, we're going to make a better one. So I'm gonna buy another just flying lead harness from Haltech. They're like 600 bucks. I'll buy one, whatever. We'll make a new harness. Turbo, we're going with a bigger turbo. If we're doing this, we're doing it right. Fuel injectors, those are coming out. We're doing new fuel system as well. The fuel rails, the fuel line, all that stuff is totally fine. But we are going to make a better fuel system because it's not that I'm not happy with this one, it's just that we capped it way sooner than I was anticipating. So that is getting redone. The major constraints of the fuel system right now are the fuel injectors, the fuel pressure regulator, those are the big ones. The trigger system in the car, we are going to have to fix that as well. And you know, we gotta figure out what the fuck is going on with this thing. Regardless, like I said, this motor's probably gonna go back to out front either way. So let's start today off. Let's get the car up on the quick jacks. Let's get the front bumper off. I want to drain the oil. I want to see what the oil looks like coming out of this thing. If it's super glittery, then that's obviously a sign that we have hurt the motor. If the oil is not super glittery, I'm going to be very confused. So let's start figuring out what we can find. I've also got little helpers out here today. Hello. Hello. The little helpers. Well, let me get this bumper off. Go ahead and get a gander at our oil here. I'm gonna snag a sample just so that way we can take a peek and see what exactly we got going on in here. Because something's definitely up here. I don't see any holes in the engine, so that's a good sign. I got a sample. I'll let this stuff drain out. Doesn't look very metallic, which is a good sign. It's something still obviously ain't happy though. Definitely smells like E85. Alright, I'm gonna let this drain real quick. I'm also gonna pop the drain off the radiator so we can let that start draining as well. And then once we get all fluids out, we'll start tearing this thing down. Hopefully we don't find anything crazy. Crazy isn't good. Maybe crazy is good, I don't know. We don't like crazy though. Whoop, got my oil sample. There we go. We'll let that drain. You guys might see a small blue hue to it. It's just a little bit of water wetter. So we'll let this fully drain out. Let's go take a peek at our oil. I didn't see any metal flakes or glitter in there at all, so I'm kind of curious to see what we actually find. Curious. Let's go ahead and get the oil filter off of here. We'll put this drain plug back on for now with this pressure washer. Freaking leak. Oil filter boy! I want to see what's inside you. What secrets are you hiding? We'll let you pee also, as long as I can catch in the bucket. It's hard to tell if it's like break-in oil or like break-in material or like bearing material, because it's still such a new engine. It's difficult to differentiate. Can we get these wires out of my face? You guys go like right up here. Thank you. I'm just gonna let this filter kind of drain out over here. Kind of drain out. Now we play the waiting game again. So I don't want to start like complete teardown unless I find like something blatantly obviously wrong. I cut the filter open just out of pure curiosity now to take a gander at what might be going on in here. So what am I gonna find? I mean, I'm not really seeing much. Like there's a piece of metal right there, a small piece. A couple small pieces there. Like there's definitely some small pieces of metal in here, but it's nothing like alarming. Like it's nothing that I wouldn't expect out of like a newer engine breaking in. Where are you? Dude, there's legit like not much in this oil filter at all. I don't know. I think we can try to pop the oil pan off, but it's a real pain in the ass. I gotta take the turbo and everything off anyways, so fuck, dude, I guess we just start disassembling, and once we're in the engine, we can pop the oil pan off and check our bearings and everything and see what the hell we find, because at this point, I don't know. I'm just not seeing much in here at all. Like, there's tiny little flakes of metal, but it's really hard to tell if that's from engine break-in. No, it's all right here on the, never mind, I found it all. That could be from me cutting the filter too. I doubt it. I doubt it. Where's a magnet? Is that gonna pick it up? I don't know, man. I think the engine needs a rebuild, so. Like, this is all I'm seeing, and I don't know if that's from me cutting the filter or not, but there's like not much in this filter. Don't get me wrong, I mean, there's definitely shit in the pan too, so, you know, I'm just gonna go with the safe bet here and say this engine's fucked. Can rebuild, it's whatever. So, I guess at this point, while everything's still draining down there, I'm gonna get the intercooler off, the exhaust manifold off, get the front end torn down and whatnot, and just start getting this thing ready for the engine to come out, so that way we can set it down to out front. So, start tearing her down. Well, nothing out of the ordinary quite yet. This hose, I think I'm gonna swap to, have you ever seen the dry brakes? They're really cool. I think we're gonna swap over to those because this hose was, I mean, it was on there just fine, just didn't want to let go. So I think we're gonna swap over to like a dry brake system for this whole thing. Turbo's out, radiator's out, intercooler's off, everything off the front is pretty much out. I'm gonna start taking off the front case, all the timing stuff here in a moment. But yeah, like no oil starvation of anything. Like the turbo itself is just fine. There's no shaft play on this bad boy or anything like that. Just got that posted for sale because we are swapping to a bigger turbo. There's no point in keeping the 6870. Like I could use the 6870 on the WRX if I really wanted to, but I feel like that turbo is just too big for that engine for a street car. So let's get to town and let's keep tearing this thing down. Next up, I'm gonna get the exhaust manifolds and everything like that off. Once that's off, we'll come up here and we'll start disassembling the top half of the motor. I would like to ideally get this out to out front Wednesday or Thursday. Today is Monday, so we can easily make that happen, Daddy-o. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have confirmed bearings are toast. If you can't hear that, that is clearly the bearings on the crank. So that sucks. I gotta turn this over a little bit more anyways, take the timing belt off. There, are we lined up on it on the other timing marks? Oh no, Jimbo, we're 180 out. Well, I gotta turn this thing over, so. Yeah, dude, it's, these bearings are done. So sorry. I'm so sorry for turning you over. I just gotta line up the timing marks to be able to take the belt off, which is right there, and right there. So here goes my socket. I'm gonna take timing off this thing. It's confirmed, dude. Bearings are, where did that socket just go? Oh, it's right there. Bearings are toast. I'm gonna pull timing off this thing. I'm gonna pull the oil pump off also. I wanna see if the oil pump itself failed, if I can find anything suspicious on the oil pump. And then we'll go from there and keep tearing this thing down. Alright, you guys, so I'm like 99% sure I found why we lost the engine, and you know what sucks? It's 100% my fault. Well, it doesn't suck. I mean, it's my fault. I mean, it does suck. It's my fault that we lost the engine. Turns out yeah, I mean, the oil pickups could still be broken, which could be attributing to the oil pressure issue, but we were having a breaking up issue on the dyno, and we couldn't figure out what it was. We were going around trying to figure things out. We pulled plugs, saw that cylinder 2 was a little bit cleaner than the rest, like it wasn't actually igniting the air fuel mixture. Come to find out, I was taking off the driver's side fuel rail, unplugged all the injectors, and cylinder 2 decided that it was going to depin, and it didn't fully depin, it only like half depinned, so that makes me think that cylinder 2, one of the pins was just out enough to where it wasn't locked in, so that injector wasn't actually working all of the time like it was supposed to. Now, the car was running just fine on the dyno, so I just got off the phone with Josh. I was like, I knew I should have just put it on the fucking trailer, brought it back, and figured out what the problem was. Nope, not Tanner. Tanner decided to send it, and this is what I get for sending it. So I tried to take the spark plug out of cylinder 2 and it's not coming out, so I'm pretty sure this block is just going to be scrap. I'm pretty sure the driver's side cylinder head is going to be scrap. So it's an expensive learning lesson. Where's the fucking broken one? Right here. Right there. That's the mistake that happened. So when I was on the phone with Josh, he was saying, yeah, he doesn't even mess with trying to pin these connectors on there anymore. He just gets the pigtails and then crimps the pigtails to his harnesses. So that's what we're going to be doing from now on as well. It sucks. It's a stupid way to lose an engine. It's a very small mistake that I should have caught sooner. And that is another reason why I'm rebuilding this engine harness. So it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Why you look like you got something to say over there? You're walking around with a tripod, you look like you got something to say. You got something to say? What you got to say, huh?
Yeah, you totally suck, Tanner.
What you got to, what? You trying to tell me you've never made a mistake? You've never made an issue?
Tanner blew up his motor!
I did. Matt, it's no one's fault but my own.
Yeah. You got that right.
At least I can take ownership of my mistake. So regardless, motor's got to come back out. Got to go back down to out front. I don't even know if I'm going to send this one to out front or if I'm going to send a new one to out front. Luckily, I have a spare. I have a backup engine.
You're right about that.
So this one just might be a trophy. I was talking, and you know, I was talking to Josh. Sometimes mistakes happen. He's done it. I'm not saying he's done this, but he's gone through a couple motors before for stupid things. This is honestly my first motor I've gone through ever. This is the first motor I've ever destroyed. 600 miles and the stupidest reason is what it is. I'm gonna keep tearing it down. Turn it into a naked engine. Alright guys, I got the motor torn down, ready to be pulled out of the car. I can't pull it out yet. I need to go buy another engine stand because the two that I have back there are both occupied, so I need to grab another one. So I just gotta go grab another engine stand. I have decided though, after this whole experience with this thing, I think I'm just done. I think at this point, I'm just gonna put an EJ back in the STI. I'm gonna sell the STI. I'm just gonna sell the Evo. Someone else can finish the project. I think I'm just done with cars at this point, and I'm just gonna move on, find another hobby. Psych! You think we're fucking stopping? You're crazy. I'm pulling the motor out tomorrow. It's gonna get sent back down to out front. I have a feeling that that's short. You guys really think? No, I doubt it. I doubt anyone would actually believe me on that one. I can't give this shit up. You guys know that. It's a terrible lifestyle filled with bad decisions, but I am about it. Matt, you're gonna do the same, right? We're just done with cars forever?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna pick.
Start knitting purses.
I thought we were gonna pick up cooking. Okay, beautiful.
Because I gotta eat.
So since we're quitting cars, if you guys want to continue to support us, we're gonna start a cooking channel, gas station food with Matt and Tanner, where we cook gas station food. That actually sounds awful. So, no, I do think it's funny though, the people out there that want to see this fail, want to see me fail, want to see things just go completely awry. Like, yeah, this shit sucks, don't get me wrong. It sucks that the motor went for such a stupid reason too. But it's part of my learning experience, which you guys get to watch. I mean, if I wasn't doing this on YouTube, I'd still be doing the same thing. You guys just wouldn't see it, so there wouldn't be any criticism on it because nobody would know about it. So it is what it is. It sucks, it's fixable, everything is always fixable. I have a spare set of cylinder heads, I have a spare motor, so if this short block is toast, which I do believe that it is going to be toast, I think cylinder 2 is just straight up melted, and I don't know how usable it's going to be. It all depends on how the cylinder walls look from the piston. I didn't see a lot of metal in there, so it makes me think that the short block is still usable, so we can still use the closed deck case halves on this. I have a spare crank. We're probably going to need that crankshaft, so it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to go pick up an engine stand today. We'll pull the motor out in the next video. We'll tear it down, and we'll go from there. While the STIs engine is at the machine shop, we are going to get the Evo running, so I think after this engine gets pulled out and sent down to out front, I think I'm going to move the STI over to the shop, and I'm going to bring the Evo here, because if I have the Evo here, I'm more inclined to work on it because I can literally just walk right outside and work on the Evo to start knocking things out on it. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, is just moving the Evo over here. Probably makes the most sense. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll figure that out in the next couple of days. But engine's torn down. 99.9% sure the reason that it blew up was because of that injector pin. Sucks that the motor went this way. I'm fairly positive that the motor went on that watt pole that I did, and that was probably the end of it. It was probably the inertia from the car actually moving, because if you think about it, we were on the E85 tune. On E85, you can get pretty aggressive with timing, so we were already pretty aggressive with the timing on the car. The fuel, especially E85, cools down the cylinder dramatically, so if you don't have any fuel getting sprayed into that cylinder, it just gets hot. When it gets hot, it destroys the bearings. When the bearing gets destroyed, you have way too much clearance, so you lose oil pressure because there's not enough resistance for oil pressure to flow and maintain pressure throughout the engine. So when the bearing dies, you lose oil pressure. So in my mind, that's kind of what I'm thinking was like a cause and effect situation from that injector depinning. On the V2 of this, we're going to be doing things a lot differently with this engine harness. I'm going to order the engine harness today, but we're going to be using mainly pigtails on things and crimping everything together. Solder is not a good idea on engine harnesses because the vibration will break down solder over time, so we're not going to be soldering anything. It's all going to be crimps, Ray Chem, all of the good stuff, because I did cheap out on this harness, and I won't lie. That engine, oh my god, dude, Mochi scratched the shit out of my arm. I won't lie, I did cheap out on this harness when I built it because I didn't know any better when I first put this thing together. So V2 will be stronger, better. We're going to be running a Precision 7675. So like I said, that 6870 is for sale if anybody wants it. The ID 1300s are for sale. We're going to be swapping over. I was looking at injectors. I think we're just going to go with 1700s and we'll run those for a while because I still want the car to be streetable. It's either 1700s or 2600s, and that's a big jump in injector, especially for drivability. I know there's some mapping you can do with injectors in the Haltech that kind of helps it a little bit, but like I said, I want things to be fairly streetable. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. It's good to know what destroyed the motor so we can fix it and move on from there. We're still swapping the oil pickup to oil pan with one from NAS Performance when those come out here in a couple of months. So the car, in my vision, will be back out on the streets in springtime. So it'll be a winter rebuild kind of situation. So it gives me fall and winter to get this thing sorted, running how I want it to, looking how I want it to, and get the car 110%, so that way I'm not cutting shortcuts or anything like that. So if you guys like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn your black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver sign, whatever color turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, maybe you missed the whole build on this last time. Now you get to watch it this time, which will be better than ever, and it won't be. That's the other good thing about this is I'm sorry, I keep going on tangents. That's the other good thing about this though, is that the roadmap of what we're doing is already built out and we know what we're doing now. That is the other good thing about this, is we already know what we're doing now. There's no guess and check stuff. The tune is already built out, the roadmap is already built out, everything is already, like, the path has been paved for us. So we just gotta follow the path now. So like I said, that's all I got for you guys on this one. So with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.